Pregame.
You ready? No debate, cause it's all. I'm too official, got the drip, I got the sauce. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, yeah. Still standing and defiant. Slay the competition, cause I'm walking like a giant. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, corner booth.
I see myself. Kate, I feel like I have not officially said this. I've tiptoed around it. Kate, will you marry me?
Do I have to answer now? Or?
No, you have time. You can think about it. You can think about a way to say no without hurting my feelings if you want.
Oh
Lovely. I'll send you a letter.
Just don't even.
Right, cool. Thank you. Shit. I'll send you my address later so you can send it to my house.
Yeah, I'm never giving you my address. I don't want you getting that close.
Oh, I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's officially that week. It is Super Bowl week. Thank fucking God we made it. Last week we got the Pro Bowl. Literally was like watching paint dry.
But the Matt Gritty was electric.
It was absolutely
that was hype.
There was nothing electric that happened that entire day.
Oh my
I'm
God.
sorry, Baker and Daniel Jones weren't at the Pro Bowl to make it a little better.
Oof, he got personal.
You know who was?
Touchdown, baby.
That's right.
Pick
You know, it
six.
wasn't
He's the face of the
OBJ
franchise.
because he's on a team playing in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Putting up the exact same stats as he did with the Browns, except for touchdowns, and that's it.
Yeah, so I don't get why he was complaining.
I don't know.
Touchdowns get attention, I guess. I'm not sure. But of course, this handsome gentleman to the lower right here is Michael Keefe of the Garage Beers podcast, a good friend of ours and a returning guest. I've been trying to get Mike back on the show for like 3 months because I think one of our best episodes was when we brought him on. I had no idea who he was. I'd only met him through a podcast when he used to be at Belly Up. Like I met him through like a podcast meeting. So kind of greeting new podcasts with one of the perks of my job. I get to meet all the newbies. And me and this dude hit it off. So I bring him on the show, and dude hit the vibe perfectly. I said, what a better way to get this man on the show than get him on our Super Bowl podcast. We also have another possible surprise guest coming later in the show as well. This is also a returning guest, but Samir won't be able to yell at him about ex-Woba. If you know, you know. Boys, it has been a wild fucking day. A wild day. Well, first of all, not even football related. I'm literally driving from my job to the gym, trying to keep my life in like a simple schedule, and I'm getting 4 text messages from all my buddies who are NBA fans about James Harden's going to the Sixers. I'm like, wait a minute, I thought this was set in stone. Why is everyone freaking out? And then I looked at who's actually getting sent through the trade. I was like, oh, holy shit! I didn't see the draft picks, but I saw the players. I believe it was Simmons.
Seth Curry.
Simmons, Seth Curry, and who was the last one?
Drummond.
Drummond.
Yeah,
Okay, I knew
Drummond.
it was the UConn guy. I just couldn't remember if it was him or the other guy. And then
Kemba?
for Paul Millsap and James Harden. Like
The headline trade was Serge Ibaka to the Bucks. What are we talking about here, Jared? All right, that's the big one. That's the big one.
I mean,
okay.
Put that shit
I
away.
mean, oh my God. Jesus Christ. It's so funny. Or you have, come on, Sabonis to the Kings, fellas. That's the big news today.
I was actually bummed to lose Dante. I like Dante DiVincenzo a lot.
Oh my God.
I just like him as like a person. But
The NBA trade deadline has always been like a meme factory to me. It's always just fun.
it's headlines, that's for sure. Always.
Listen, I was happy. My team got in and out a couple days early. Boom, we got our player we needed. Done. That's it.
I honestly think Karis LeVert is like probably the most impactful trade. Like I think that is huge. Like he's a beast. Obviously, he's a Michigan guy, so he kicked our ass a few times in college. But I love Karis LeVert. Like he was one of the few dudes at Michigan while playing at Michigan that I was like, I kind of like him. Like I like the way he plays. I never thought he'd be this NBA player, and what an ad for the Cavs.
Huge.
JD, I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
Is that part of the bit when you were saying like the James Harden trade didn't matter? It's all about Sabonis, or no?
Serge
you said
Ibaka.
Yeah, you said it's all about Ibaka. Is that part of the bit? I'm not saying LeVert won't be impactful, but saying it will be the most impactful.
I think the other teams just swapped like Moody shit for Moody shit. I don't know. Like I don't think either of the teams are like crazy better off for it.
I think the Nets are.
The Nets are probably out of the.
I think the Nets are worse off.
The thing about
they are worse off.
No,
the
they
Cavs
are
one
not.
is like
They
the
got
perfect
so much
piece.
better.
Like it felt more perfect, I guess. That's what I meant by
okay,
impactful.
fair. That was curious about that.
But I was
think
semi-serious on that. Yes,
Sixers are better off. They can space the floor better now. They have Harden who can shoot threes for Embiid at least the rest of the year to clear space for Embiid down low, and Harden was their most available star out of their big three. I saw someone call it their big 2.5 because Kyrie doesn't play half the time. But like you're putting Ben Simmons on a team where KD might be hurt and Kyrie can't play at home.
Yeah, I think Ben Simmons has gotten such a bad rep. Ben Simmons is elite at everything but shooting. He is elite at defending. He's elite at ball handling. He's elite at passing. He is elite at everything but shooting. The guy wasn't just a make-believe all-star. And so the rep he got from missed free throws and not being able to hit the three-pointer or whatever, that doesn't matter and you can't run a team like that. You can't run a team like, yeah, but what if Kevin Durant's hurt or what if Kyrie Irving's not playing? You have to run a team saying who fits with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. And I don't know that you could find a player that's much better to fit with those guys than Ben Simmons. That team got so much better defensively, especially.
They got better defensively. That team
better.
has no shooting now. KD's hurt. Kyrie's not playing at the time. Joe Harris is hurt. Blake Griffin can't shoot anymore. He forgot in the offseason for some reason. Like, what? How is this not just going to be Philly 2.0 with a lack of 3-point shooting?
Because when they're healthy,
right.
They're a great shooting team.
Right? Yeah, you can't go with that. Like when the playoffs
I want to say Kyrie is not a health issue. It's
well when they're
it's a Dr. Joe Rogan health issue.
Oh,
wait, I have a serious question. Do you think
were the other ones
Nets,
not serious?
They were a little serious. This one's a
Okay.
really serious question. Okay. It's a conspiracy theory.
Ooh,
Are the Nets going to throw games so they don't have home court advantage, so they could have Kyrie for 4 games in every series if it goes to 7?
No. No, and they're loosening up restrictions over there now. So Kyrie can play now, I think.
I was gonna say I don't know anything.
Being the closest to New York, I think you're right. I think Adams, the new mayor of New York, is so concerned about the crime rate. He honestly is leaning towards like lifting things like this. Also, New York City is just like a strange country to me at this point. I live an hour away from it.
Yeah, I think the Sixers got better purely like today. I think the Sixers got better because Ben Simmons wasn't playing. And so to add James Harden in a spot where Ben Simmons wasn't even playing, you just basically just
automatic upgrade.
It's an upgrade. I hate James Harden though. He's a loser.
Oh no,
he does not win. And I don't mean he's a loser in like a personal way. The dude doesn't win.
His ball style doesn't lead to winning in the playoffs.
Well, it folds in big moments. I will say this as someone who is defending champs here.
Good God.
Hey, I put in my time.
That looks like a really new jersey, buddy. That looks like a very new jersey.
This is about 3 years
young,
old. But my very first basketball game was a Milwaukee Bucks game. My godmother lives in Milwaukee, and I've been rooting for the Bucks since I was like 8. So I put my time in. I also will say fair weather. Like I love Cleveland sports, so I definitely was on the like Cavs bandwagon at that time because I just am a Cleveland sports fan and wanted the curse to be lifted. But I would always say my number one team has been the Bucks. But as someone who basically Kevin Durant had to go God mode to beat the Bucks and still did it. Now they have someone to match up against Giannis defensively. Don't love that as like someone who will probably have to go through the Nets. Because like right now it's like, yeah, the Nets are the same team as last year. I mean, Harden folds in big moments and Kevin Durant's Kevin Durant, but like if they're not shooting great on a given night, there's no one stopping Giannis and they can spread the floor and shoot too. So they match up better in that way, and they have to get more physical to be able to like the East is kind of old school, big physical. Obviously, the way the Cavs play, the way the Bucks have Giannis, and so they needed to beef up a little bit. So in that way, I think the defensive move is the more important
I think it's also,
aspect here.
but I think it's also like, again, the Sixers sent a pretty good. Andre Drummond, man, he'll play one good game and 7 bad ones. It's fine. But
Yeah.
I think Seth Curry, let's not overlook the fact that the Nets brought that dude in too. When we're talking about a team about shooting, this is a guy that revamped his career in Philly and was like playing the best basketball he's ever played in his career with the Sixers. And just in time for him to do that, they shipped him off to the Nets. I mean, the Nets got better shooting off the bench with Curry. I think it was a home run for the Nets. I think it was a necessary trade for the Sixers. I don't think the Sixers could have done better than what they did. So
I don't think any team really lost in this deal, which is kind of not rare in the NBA, but it's definitely one of those trades where like neither team lost. And also, I think Daryl Morey gets back his man crush Monday of James Harden. So there it is.
I think there was one loser in this trade. Doc Rivers when he's getting Father's Day presents.
Jeez.
He traded for his daughter's ex-boyfriend who cheated on her with a stripper in the past. And then he traded away her husband. So I think Doc Rivers'
Wait a minute. Okay,
Father's Day
so
presents are
who is the ex-boyfriend? Who's the husband?
Paul George cheated on Callie Rivers with a stripper. Might have had a kid with the stripper.
Playoff P.
And then Seth Curry is married to Callie Rivers.
Okay.
While we're talking about
the basketball genetics in that family alone, holy fuck.
you threw it out to his time in LA there for a minute. Can we just talk about for 1 second that the Lakers made no trades and they are just a disaster out there? Like, and I'm a huge LeBron fan forever. My whole life I will be a LeBron fan. I don't have one bad thing to say about the dude.
Same.
Especially here I loathe these Cleveland fans that like talk shit about LeBron. I think they sound stupid. But like that Lakers team, how they went out and did nothing today,
It's hilarious.
I do not understand.
What
It's
could they have
amazing.
traded though?
Two AARP gift cards, 1 wheelchair, a contract,
Like,
and somehow sneaking Russell Westbrook in the back end of it.
They couldn't have got moved off of Westbrook because his contract still isn't
I know.
great.
That was all.
No,
jokes.
I'm talking in general. THT is not worth what Lakers fans think he is. And they can't trade a first-round pick until 2027 because of Cavs owner Stepien. So I'm sure the Lakers love him for that.
I just love that they. I think as a fan though, you just assume you're going to get that big notification that the Lakers made some kind of move,
Right.
Like there was a big rumored trade between the Lakers and the Knicks. How about the report that dropped that everybody on the Knicks is available? Literally, they dropped
Only
a report
Tom
that
Thibodeau.
Everybody was available. So there was this big rumor that the Lakers and the Knicks were talking, and you just assume with the Lakers that something's going to happen, and nothing happened. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. This was a beautiful trade deadline.
Burn, Lakers, burn.
This is a fun NBA year. Like I'm enjoying the teams in the East, especially that obviously like the Cavs and
I'm even enjoying the NBA
like
this year.
The Bulls coming kind of back, like kind of some blue bloods. Number 1, 2, they're playing like fun styles of basketball that it's fun to have a little. It's dispersed the talent a little bit more. The East is back to kind of holding their own, and this should be as wide open as fun of playoffs as we've had in a while.
Dude,
So
the
I'm
West
very
is
much
the West
looking
is
forward
even
to
like
that
except for the Suns, obviously, but like the West is even wide. Like my team's even in the playoffs.
Right. Oh
hunt
yeah.
right
No,
now.
they're all. It's as wide open as it's been just in general.
Mike, for reference, I'm a lifelong Timberwolves fan, and I've been suffering basically since I was 9. So, this is Anthony Edwards. We look at like Jesus. So
He's great. I mean, he's great.
He's
I love him.
literally I think that dude farts electricity and just exudes energy.
I think the thing that drives me crazy about a guy like Anthony Edwards, he's so good, but he's not the guy, in my opinion, that you can say, okay, let's just put a few players around this guy and you're going to win a title.
I disagree. I thought that's what my opinion of Towns, where Towns
Well, yeah.
no. Towns' biggest problem is Towns is all about all of his other things outside of basketball. Him and Russell still ball, and they're still top 30 players when they give a shit. But that's like 50-50. So with Edwards wants to kill you. That's this dude earned my respect when he literally did the John Cena in front of LeBron when he hit a 3 in his face as a rookie. I was like, okay, This kid's my new favorite player. He just told LeBron, you can't see me. We're good.
Yeah, that's fun stuff. But like,
It's
I also don't know, like in a 7-game playoff series, am I going to trust that Anthony Edwards, if the rest of my team isn't playing great, is Anthony Edwards going to carry us to win?
we're gonna find out this year, man, because they're the 6th or 7th seed right now, and it's looking pretty good. They're getting hot.
I'm going to see your boy next weekend in Karl Anthony Towns taking part in the 3-point contest.
Ooh,
Here in Cleveland.
Yeah.
So looking
You're going?
forward to yeah. Oh, I'll be there for
Ooh,
the whole thing.
that's sick.
I'm excited.
Mike, I expect in my Twitter DMs some exclusive video content of my Timberwolves because it's very rare that they're actually at All-Star Weekend, much less participating.
I'll just send you. I don't know where I'm sitting in the arena, but I will send you.
Hey,
videos
Jared,
of
see
Karl
this
Anthony
speck
Towns
at the other side of the screen? That's Towns.
just launching 3-pointers.
Listen, he's a damn good 3-point shooter, so
Yeah,
I
he
kind of
is.
love that.
That's why he's in it.
I'm gonna actually watch All-Star Weekend this year, which is very rare of me.
I was like, 3-point contest is always fun.
The dunk contest when I was a kid was like electricity, but now it's like
I will say this. I think people shit on the dunk contest a little too much. Is it great? No, but I still think it's entertaining. I
think
watching it
favorite-
year out.
my
problem
Because
favorite
you never
is-
know when you're going to get a good one.
my
The
favorite
problem is
moment.
there's not a lot you can do anymore.
Right.
I mean,
That's
Like
what I was
you
just gonna
need
say
to
that.
include props now, which I think
yeah.
detracts from the dunk a little bit. But like, what else can you do that hasn't been done yet?
Yo, if
I
you
mean,
go back,
Levine and Aaron Gordon were literally was like
That was
I think
so
it was like
good.
the magnum opus of the dunk contest. That was insanity for back-to-back seasons.
but if you
and-
go back and watch, like I think the premier dunk contest of all time is Vince Carter's.
Oh yeah, no, that's the
Gosh.
I watched
But if
the
you go
highlight
back-
tape of it.
If you go back and watch that, he's doing dunks in that dunk contest that literally everybody does now. He's
Right.
doing dunks in that dunk. Like he went through the legs on a windmill and everybody was like, holy shit, we've never seen that before. And now if you were to do that in today's dunk contest, you'd get like a 4.
Right.
Nah,
So,
you
like,
probably get like a solid 30, but like that's it. It's like
that is what it is though.
You need to start-
I agree that it's hard to come up with. Dwight Howard was so good at coming up with things you just hadn't seen. When he pulled out the 12-foot rim, when he put the sticker up on the board, and you know what I mean? Like you have to do something different in the dunk contest.
I think
or
the
everything
worst
else
one I
has been
ever
done.
watched was the Blake Griffin one when he jumped over a fucking Kia. It was like
Kia.
I was
The
like
hood of a Kia.
I was watching it because like the Timberwolves had a guy. I think it was Derek Williams or whatever. And like his dunk was like he jumped off a Harley. I'm like, that's actually pretty impressive. But it's like and then you see Blake Griffin hurdle a Kia and it's like 50s. I'm like, how? He went over the hood.
Can they
That's the
incorporate
problem,
fire?
too.
Like, can you have a fire pit over like the area you're jumping?
Yes, now we're
That's
talking.
thinking outside the box here.
Because that would
I
make
wish
me
they
watch basketball. If there was like risk of like bodily harm or death, I would be more interested to watch.
I like that. Yeah.
Pat, there is
Goosebumps.
risk of death. Have you never heard of Reggie Lewis?
Oh, shit.
There was risk of death when you used to play at the old Palace in Detroit.
You did risk
There's
that there.
risk death there. I wish they wouldn't like the scoring's just kind of dumb too. Like I almost wish they would just like rank them out of that round. Like this person was first, this person was second. That like they should just make them pick between two people. Like the scoring, because like there are times where it's like they're giving everyone 10s, and then there's one that's clearly better than the other. I mean, you had that in the Aaron
None of us can dunk. No.
I think JD might have the best chance since he's 6'4".
No shot. No, I am crazy bad jumping.
I mean, I can grab the rim, but that's about it.
I feel
It's
pretty
been-
confident that I could get like close. Like I can jump like a couple inches off the ground and maybe get myself a little bit closer, but I'm not grabbing any rim.
I got it, guys. We'll do it on like 8-foot rims.
I was gonna say, yeah, let's do
Boys,
a
I'm-
little twist down one.
I'm 1 week away from 37 years old. It's been almost 20 years since I can dunk a basketball.
You can hold it for us. You can be our prop guy.
Mike, you are 10 years older than me, and literally, I just was able to grab rim for the first time in like 5 years, like a week and a half ago.
Bro, I bought my niece one of those like little tyke ones, so it's like
There you
2
go,
feet off the
Pat's throwing
ground.
it down.
I'm gonna send a video of me dunking
I'm in
on
on
that
that.
tonight.
Dunk
I'll
on
even-
her.
Yes.
I will go wake her up after this show and be like,
Hey,
come
get
on,
up. Hold this one.
get up.
Boom.
The kids half asleep. Boom, right over.
Dude, and then I can even incorporate a fire too, get like a fire pit going, and then like put kid like far enough away from fire to where there's no bodily harm chance with her, and then I jump over fire and kid.
The problem with that is when she catches a knee to the face. Like, you're too worried about the fire
Toughening her
and
up.
just give her a black eye.
Well, if her feet weren't moving, she could have sat there and taken a charge. That's on her. Learn your footwork.
My God. Oh my God. Speaking of taking a charge, Kevin, Auburn's had a rough week, man. 2 weeks.
I would like. Hang on. Let me Google something real quick. I have to.
Because I'll lead off with the basketball team. Because I do not watch I barely watch college basketball until about February. It's just like NFL's on. And there's so many good shows coming out. Like, I'll catch highlights and everything else. I'm not, especially SEC basketball. I could give two fucks. I'm an ACC guy all day.
Basketball in the SEC.
I forgot. But
Auburn,
Auburn,
Kentucky.
Yeah,
Bruce
right.
Pearl and Auburn
Just Kentucky.
doing like a dance on
historically.
Arkansas
Tennessee, Vanderbilt.
logo. No, there you go. Yeah, no, he's right. No, we're making jokes. Obviously, we know the SEC. has
Okay,
very good
also,
tradition
Jared's
basketball.
not allowed to make jokes about SEC basketball. He's a Miami fan in football and a UNC fan in basketball.
Only for
not
basketball. There is
Not
a
allowed.
clause.
And
Fuck
you
off,
hate
Kevin.
UNC football.
I
Not
hate
allowed to
UNC
make
for
jokes.
everything
About
it's
Yeah, that's
basketball.
insane to me.
I am
That's
insane.
hilarious.
Have you not met me? I'm fucking crazy.
Like, I just can't imagine being like, "Oh yeah, go." I'm wearing UNC blue, but it's the basketball blue.
Actually, I have not put on my UNC gear in almost 2 years, but I still root for them in
Wow.
a tournament.
Fake fan.
Yeah,
I
they
literally
don't
have
blue.
my UNC hat. It's been on my hat rack for years. I've had that hat since like 2015. No, 2012. I just
feel
don't
jealous.
wear it.
I feel jealous of anybody that feels like they can just choose their teams.
Well,
Same.
I was born into my stuff. Like,
Yeah.
there's
See,
no,
I
there's no
see.
picking.
Okay, so Mike, my parents went to an art school for designers. They're both. My mom was fashion designer. My dad was a graphic designer. I went to a D2 college, so I basically was like the North Carolina thing is because all my friends when I was a little kid were all Tar Heels fans. So I became a Tar Heels fan.
You're
for
like, where'd you
basketball.
grow up?
Connecticut. Fuck
Cool.
UConn.
There it was.
Yeah, but then it was like on top
Think
of
for
that.
yourself, Jared. Stop following the crowd.
Well, also, if you've never met me, I've always been a fucking rebel. You know that.
Uh-huh.
I also like.
Yeah,
For
that's why
col-
you rooted for the same team as all your friends. Makes sense. That checks out.
It wasn't the team that everyone else rooted for, though, because everyone
Well,
else
they
UConn.
were all rebels. Everybody's
You
rebels.
just
Yeah,
said they were
yeah.
all UNC fans.
No, like my 3 or 4 close friends when I was a kid were all UNC fans. The rest of the state was UConn because this was at UConn was the height of his powers, like Emeka Okafor, Tarazi.
I like
Super-
this. Let's dive into this. Let's dive into this a little bit, Jared.
Okay.
If all your friends decided to jump off a bridge, no,
Okay, I don't think Jared would need
question.
his friends to convince him to do that. I think Jared wants to do that anyway.
No, I'm not that depressed.
He hasn't reached Kevin levels yet.
No, Kevin Levels is slamming a bottle of Jack Daniels and then just like throwing a picture of his ex-girlfriend.
Or my mom.
man, we're getting deep.
Well, that was
Jeez.
implied.
This is getting deep.
Jeez, guys, we made it 23 minutes before what happened. I'm actually impressed.
It wasn't a good
New
chance for
record,
him.
Kevin!
You can't just drop them all the time. You gotta pick your spots. And I decided
Just
that
like
was
your
the time.
mom did it coming back.
Oh,
No, she did not pick her spots. She just decided to come back until my dad said no. But anyway, Auburn basketball losing. I mean, yeah, they weren't going to go.
Oh, I
undefeated
forgot
all
that's
the
what we were
rest of the
talking
year.
about.
Yeah, they weren't going to go undefeated the rest of the year. It sucks they lost to that midget out there in Fayetteville for them.
Your
But-
favorite coach in all of college basketball.
I
The
still
only-
can't believe I'm
the only
blocked by a
profession-
D1
It-
coach.
okay, so, Mike, backstory: the Arkansas head basketball coach has Kevin blocked on Twitter.
what?
And
what's
a
the
lot
reason
of
to
probably
say
no
Alabama
reason.
fan.
Probably no reason for that.
No,
I
no,
couldn't-
it was short man on short man crime. That was what happened.
Yeah, pretty much. So he blocked me, as he did a lot of Alabama people. But yeah, what I had to look up though actually is adultery still illegal in Alabama?
Oh, we're going to football coach.
Adultery?
Oh, Auburn also
is-
lost for DC this week too.
It is illegal, but they don't punish it anymore. So it's kind of illegal. It's like marijuana being illegal in Tuscaloosa. Like if the cops find a little bit, they'll just dump it out and say go home. But yeah, it's not illegal. So Brian Harsin did break a law, but is not being punished for it. But yeah, Auburn football in the athletic department is a shit show. After going 6-7 and losing the Iron Bowl, the boosters want him gone. There are reports that he was banging an assistant, that his wife was banging the wide receivers coach, and he got fired for that. Then there was an open relationship. Assistant coaches are leaving. Derek Mason took $400,000 fewer dollars to go be the DC at Oklahoma State instead of Auburn. So yeah, it's a shit show. Some people think it's just the boosters trying to get rid of Harsin and find a way to not pay his buyout. So find some cause. I think Auburn is just being cheap and doesn't want to pay $40 million to two coaches who aren't coaching there anymore.
I get that.
So, fair. Yeah. Secure that bag, but also just fire him if you want to get rid of him that bad.
My favorite thing is just like it's the last. So I think it was Friday. I was in a parking lot around the corner from my client's house, waiting to like restore our countertops. And we're just sitting in my
Jared
truck
always
on
paints a
TikTok.
word picture of like where
I'm
he
a
was
great
when he had this
storyteller.
thought. It's like I had
So
this thought. It was 72 degrees, September 12th.
I was in the middle of talking.
Wow. Don't ask him to write any of that down.
Exactly. I am illiterate when it comes to texting.
You're a baby. You're a baby.
And writing. I
baby.
Edited your blog.
Yeah, Kevin one time yelled at me, dude, stop writing when you're drunk.
That's the best time to write.
Exactly. Dude, I graduated with a journalism degree doing that shit.
The plot twist was Jared was not drunk. That's just how he speaks.
I learned that very, very soon after.
Okay, so anyway, I'm on TikTok. I saw the whole story about the whole what's it called? The head coach. And so I think it was one of the guys at Barstool was breaking down the video. Then another person was like 2 videos later showed the actual picture of the girl. First of all, congrats to the coach. I mean, he did not shoot low for this one, if that's a consolation. Very attractive woman.
I have not followed any of this.
I'm pulling up her picture now.
Not knowing any of what you guys are really talking about. I know Auburn's coach got in trouble for.
I will say though, back to the basketball for 30 seconds. The fact that they danced on the logo and then they lost, and the game ended on a tomahawk slam at the buzzer was just poetic justice.
So JD,
life comes at you fast in college basketball. You can't be super cocky.
There was a cheerleader. There was a cheerleader at Boise State who went to Auburn to be Brian Harsin's assistant when he left Boise to go to Auburn. She was paid $5,000 a month to be his assistant. And then rumors came out that, you want some things put where you don't want them.
I mean, I'll file a sexual harassment lawsuit the second he goes near me.
The problem is the $5,000 is part of it is you will do these things. Like it's not sexual harassment.
Never mind. I declined.
You agree to it. It was consensual what was happening.
Okay. I mean, like, listen, this girl got it made.
It wasn't like a sexual harassment situation. It was a consensual relationship that he may have been cheating on his wife. It may have been
they're in love.
Adult, or it may have been an open relationship.
How is this still more entertaining than the whole Bobby Paterno thing with a motorcycle?
I don't know. There's so many great college football hysterical moments, but what
Chop
was I about
House.
to say? Jared made me lose my train of thought by interrupting me.
I just can't I don't know how you guys keep track of all this because whatever.
Kevin does out of spite.
Well, because he's blocked.
Well, no, he's the
no.
biggest,
This is a different
Alabama lover.
Yeah,
it's hysterical. But also,
I'm so over this story. What is this? So he banged her?
Joked multiple times. I joked that we could talk about this because this is an old story. But Jared said,
I know. Well, I mean, we didn't talk about it last week because it happened on Friday, so we kind of missed the.
It happened before Friday.
Well, it became big news, and I actually saw it on Friday.
Okay, yeah, no, people have been talking about this for longer than that. I did see a blog, though, from when Harsin was hired. It's like, Auburn has found its Urban Meyer. I saw that,
well, hey, listen,
it
makes sense.
A couple championships less, but
at least he didn't get caught at a chop house.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. JD, have you been to Urban Meyer's chop house?
It's a Urban Meyer's pint house, and no, I have not. I know where it's at. I've driven past it plenty of times. My brother's been there. It's a cool location. It's a cool place, I've heard. But yeah, no, I have not been there.
All right. You guys ready to talk some fucking football finally?
Yes.
since we only got
We
Mike
were
for another
talking
half hour.
football until you went on a tangent about college basketball.
Well, I'm talking pro football now because we literally have like, the biggest fucking game of the year. And it's like two teams, regardless of where you're from, like these, unless you're a bitter Cleveland fan like this guy below me. So wait, actually, no, I'm Mike, since you are Cleveland as fuck, how are you rooting for the Super? Are you all Stafford on this point? You going full Rams?
No, I don't root for. This is the thing that drives me batty. I don't. Why does everybody feel the need to like root for somebody? Like I want a decent football game.
All right, that's fair.
I don't give a
that's
shit who
kinda-
wins. I don't give a shit. Listen, I don't have a Bengals hatred. This isn't like the Steelers or the Ravens for me.
100%. Yes.
So like if the Steelers or the Ravens are playing in the Super Bowl, I'm rooting for whoever they are playing.
Whoever.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like the Bengals, okay. Like they've been bad pretty much the whole time we've been bad.
Yeah.
And so, okay, Joe Burrow, cool story.
Love Joe Burrow.
Carrying them to a Super Bowl. They're the hottest team. They're a team that nobody picked at the beginning of the playoffs. I said on our show, I said, watch out for the Bengals because I think the Titans suck. As long as Ryan Tannehill is the quarterback of the Titans, they're going to blow ass. They're going to be a good regular season team, and then they're going to suck. I said, otherwise, like, I felt like who'd Cincinnati play week 2 in the playoffs?
Raiders.
Raiders.
Oh,
Raiders,
yeah,
Titans.
So they had to go
Chiefs.
Raiders first. That's not that bad of a matchup. You got to go Titans. They suck in the playoffs. And then the Chiefs, and that was going to be a tough game, and they played great. So I'm not surprised by the Bengals. I'm also not butthurt, again, about Odell Beckham and the Rams.
I wanted
Odell
to hear your
Beckham-
opinion because, I mean, my only Cleveland access is this schmuck below me. So, like, I'm just kidding.
Whichever team wins, I think there's cool storylines.
I said after I think it was after who was left in the playoffs that I'm like, I need them to lose. I'm trying to think. Either way, it was like going into the division or the championship
mine was
weekend.
as long as the Chiefs lost, I was happy.
Going into the divisional weekend, see, even I don't like hate the Chiefs like that.
Right.
Going into the divisional weekend, I was like, I'm at the point where like it's not the end of the world no matter who wins. Out of who's left, I don't really want to see a division team win it when it's a tie. I would say I'm rooting for the Rams, but I've said I want a good game over everything. But I would rather see the Rams win just because I like Stafford. I love Joey B. I just hate that we have to play him twice a year because I've always been a big Joey B guy. And yes, like Mike put the hierarchy of Browns hatred. Like if it's Steelers or Ravens, it's like I couldn't even.
That's
remotely-
it.
I don't give a crap if it's a good game.
I totally get y'all arguments. I just when I watch a game,
I like a little bit of a rooting interest.
I tend to find a way to root for somebody, whether it's gambling, which we'll
weird.
talk about in 5 minutes, or
Yeah, but that's different. That's
Yeah,
the gambling's different. If you got
or
money
have
on the
a-
game, you're going to root for
or
your
if,
money.
like, let's say
You're
like there's a
rooting for your
Miami,
money.
or if there's a player I like, either whether he played for Miami or like he was just a player I follow as on my fantasy team, I find a way to root for that team. It's just the way I am.
I don't know how
as a person
you
while
keep
watching
track. Miami or UConn or whoever.
He's all over the country.
Or North
He's got-
Carolina or
Arizona for baseball. I mean, he touches every corner. I'm not kidding. He touches every corner.
No, I
Except for
think
the
we need-
Northwest, they've had it too good for too long.
The funny thing is here in Cleveland, it's been a war. Like the Cleveland Twitter world is a war about who
Yes.
you're rooting for because you've got this segment of people that hate Odell Beckham with a passion. And again, the national narrative on Odell Beckham is so wrong, acting like he left Cleveland and went and exploded with the Rams, which he did not do. He just didn't catch touchdowns here because you have Nick Chubb and when healthy, Kareem
He also
Hunt.
doesn't
And-
have the drops. Like he
And
is
they-
catching them when they're thrown his way. He had drops in Cleveland,
A
which
ton of
again
drops.
is not,
a ton of drops.
right?
Yeah.
Which is again to
But, like-
your point, like that's not on Baker if he's dropping.
They're
easy
They're making
catches
this
on 4th and
narrative out
2.
of it that like Cleveland was holding Odell back. He had that. He was
Oh, come on.
Until-
the national sports media drumming up a fake narrative? Come on, really?
I don't think it's fake. I think it's exaggerated. Like I don't think it's like crazy
over
outlandish.
amped up.
Because he is
I
doing
will. That's
better.
Yeah.
He's doing
but,
better
like,
in the playoffs, but in the regular season, he was averaging 3 catches for 51 yards for the Rams.
right.
That's what he did in the regular season.
Right.
Like he didn't just go there and explode. So
That
there's
was one of my
people in
arguments
Cleveland.
to Jared the other day that he dropped so many balls in Cleveland, and that's just on you, man. Like he's one of those guys. His attitude in like feeling in the moment is so important to him, and it lets him get in his head. He's happy in LA, and now he's just catching balls. Like it's just all right. You're kind of
That dude is
No,
all about
JD,
vibes.
you're wrong. Odell was so shocked when Baker actually threw him the ball. He was surprised. That's
Right,
why
yeah.
he dropped
There
it.
it is.
that's right.
Even
It
though
was
for
Baker's
the-
fault.
Like,
even
what
though
did-
for the majority of the year he led the Browns in targets.
Right, but Mike, I
Doesn't
cut
matter.
you off.
Get your
You're
logic
making a
away from my
rant.
narrative.
Keep ranting, Mike. I cut you off.
No, I'm just again, it's a thing here. You got to pick one or the other. Listen, if Odell wins, I don't care. I'd love to see Matt Stafford win a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Oh
that
my
dude,
God, it'd be
that
amazing.
dude, Matt Stafford is an elite quarterback, and he has been not anymore per se, but for the majority of his career, Matt Stafford was an elite quarterback stuck in Detroit, where they would build offensively. They'd give him wide receivers as weapons. They'd give him no defense. They never had a chance. Detroit lost a ton of games where they scored 30 points. And then you got the Bengals. They haven't won a Super Bowl. And there's just a lot of cool storylines. So for me, I'm going to sit down on Sunday. I'm going to crack open a bunch of beers. I'm going to sit there with some snacks and eat some wings and whatever. And I'm just hoping the game is fun. I'm hoping it's back and forth and there's just a lot of fun shit that happens. And I'm going to have a great time watching it. And whoever wins, good for them, man. Good for them.
Mike, as
My
a beer
my team's sitting at home. My team's sitting at home.
we all can relate to that.
Yeah.
Mike, as a beer connoisseur, what are you hitting right now?
So I've got this is a heavy beer, man. This is from Great Lakes here in Cleveland.
Okay.
It's called a Dank Demon.
Ooh.
Ooh.
It is an Imperial Dank IPA.
No, you lost me.
Sorry. Remember,
Pat
I'm older.
drinks-
I'm older.
Pat drinks Scotch and Miller Lite. That's it.
No, first of all, this is my favorite time of year for beer because it's cold snap season, and I can drink something
yeah,
that
that's
isn't
true.
just
Cold
Miller
Snap,
Lite when
sorry.
I go out in public.
I do love Cold Snap.
Cold Snap is good.
I will say taste buds develop over time. And that doesn't mean they get better. They just change. If in my mid 20s, if you would have handed me like an IPA, I'd have punched you in the face. I'd have been like, get this shit out of my face. But now I'm an old man, and I, for some reason, love the bitter taste.
That's
Speaking of
reassuring.
getting punched in the
Great
face,
Lakes is delicious, though.
I'm doing a Dark Truth by Boulevard out of Kansas City. This is a Imperial Stout, 9.7. It definitely slams you in the teeth a little bit.
That's what I'm talking about. Those are my kind of beers. Big, heavy. I like beers that you can chew.
Exactly.
Yep.
I want a
There was
tower of Samsung.
I half expected you in
Same.
describing your beer, Mike, to finish with, and now we're going to talk on the Cavaliers recap.
Oh,
I love those
hey,
beers.
all right.
I love those beers. I love those beers. Honestly, Mike's one of my favorite people. I like. I don't. You probably don't even know if you noticed, Mike. I like all your tweets because you speak about Browns football the way I think. I get emotional, but I think you articulate a lot of how I feel probably just better. So I appreciate your Browns takes. And like I said, I like Cleveland sports. I'm obviously a Bucks fan first, but I would like that the Cavs are good. Sure. I will root for the Bucks when they play in the playoffs if they play. But if the Bucks are out, I'm going to root for the Cavs. They're every way because I love Cleveland sports. And I love Cleveland sports fans as much as we bicker and argue about dumb stuff. They're passionate, very passionate.
Well,
but it is Cleveland Twitter is at odds. I have said to Jerry, I've loved Odell Beckham his entire career. When he came to Cleveland, I was like Christmas Day for me because I just love him, love him as an athlete, always have. And so obviously when everything went south, couldn't help but be a little angry at him the way it kind of all went out. And I was just upset at kind of the situation. And it was one of those things, well, maybe it just wasn't a good fit. But I've never been one of those, he catches a touchdown on Sunday Night Football and I'm tweeting angry things at him. Okay, good for him. I don't know. It wasn't a good fit. Can't they just both be true that it wasn't a good fit and we can all just move on and whatever?
And listen, I agree with some of the things that people are saying. This doesn't need to turn into a Browns podcast, by the way. I agree with some of the things people are saying. Baker Mayfield was shit, total shit this year. And you can blame it on injuries and you can blame it on this or that. He was terrible this year. He was terrible.
I blame it on the room not sitting him down saying, if you're hurt, then stop playing.
Listen, when it gets to the Super Bowl, though,
right?
I think we're in for a sweet game. I think there's this thing because I think people want the Bengals to win, on a more national level.
They're definitely, if you took a straw poll, they got to be at least over 60%.
I think a lot of people are overlooking how good the Rams are.
Well,
I think a lot of people are like, look at Joe Burrow is going to do this. And I'm like, have you seen the Rams defense? And have you seen the Bengals offensive line? Aaron Donald is licking his chops for this game.
And
Yes.
like I have to say too, I feel like this is the first Super Bowl, right, where there's not that one team that's just like everyone hates. Like,
Yeah.
I'm cool
It's a
with
likable Super
whatever
Bowl.
the result is. Like,
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
It's really
either-
scary, actually.
I either get to see Matt Stafford like finally break the fucking Detroit thing and win a Super Bowl and not like be in a frozen hellscape for the rest of his career, or I get to see Joe Cool big dick like the NFL. Either results are like two things I'm very excited for.
Did you guys see the what's her name? Annie Agar? She
Oh.
does
Yeah.
those, like- Did you see the one she did with like all the fans? She like
Yeah.
incorporated the fans.
So funny.
I love the Lions fan, man. That was my favorite. The Lions fan was like, listen, this is Detroit's time. This is Detroit's Super Bowl. Like, Detroit's finally got a chance to get off the schneid. Like, I love that. Like, all of Detroit, is just dying for Matt Stafford to win this.
I
thing.
live like 45
So
minutes
is
from
Columbus.
Detroit. Lots of Detroit fans, and they are all in on Stafford. Like everyone I know is a diehard Lions fan. Like Stafford is like the only thing that's given them joy in there. Like especially people my age.
And Motor
They're
City,
lifetime
and
of
Motor
football.
City, Dan Campbell. Do
Yeah,
not
yeah,
discount
yeah,
that, man.
yeah. No,
I am-
taking out knees, taking knees.
Mike,
I
I,
think
am-
it-
Knees.
Mike, besides Pat
kneecap.
McAfee, I might be the biggest Motor City Dan Campbell fan on the planet. That man is my hero.
God.
I think it's funny all of Columbus is pulling for Joe Burrow too, because he went to Ohio State. People forget that.
He graduated from Ohio State.
He
Oh,
did.
did he?
And
Yeah.
he's only talked about, so he transferred. Dwayne Haskins won the starting quarterback job for the Buckeyes over Joe Burrow.
because he broke his hand the season
Yeah.
before. Like that's the only reason why.
But-
Joe Burrow
yeah.
was ahead of him at the time.
Yeah, but then Dwayne Haskins threw for like a million
Right.
yards. I mean,
Yeah.
I know Dwayne Haskins hasn't had the NFL career, but let's all remember how good Dwayne Haskins
He broke
was
the single
for Ohio-
season. He broke the single season Big Ten record set by Drew Brees. Like people
And
act
so-
like Ohio State was left with nothing. Like what?
Well, and everybody's got to
Dewey
do that.
Haskins.
Everybody's got to do that thing where they're like, oh, they didn't pick Haskins. Like you
No.
said, there was an injury. Haskins took the job and he played one of the
He
greatest
was a
single seasons
Heisman
ever.
candidate until that Purdue game.
He was better than Joe Burrow that year. People
Oh, yeah,
forget
no,
Joe Burrow was at
much
LSU for 2 years, and he was significantly better
yeah,
that
no.
year.
I'm not.
And then we
no,
got
you're-
2
no,
years
you're-
of Justin Fields out of it. I mean, we got 3 years in a row of our quarterback making it to the Heisman ceremony. We traded that for 1 year of a Heisman winner. So, like, I don't think that's like terrible. I've
and
always
Natty,
made that.
but whatever.
And Joe
He did
Burrow,
win the Natty,
Joe
but does he
Burrow,
win it at Ohio State? No.
Joe Burrow graduated
Probably
from
not,
Ohio
I'm sorry.
State.
Exactly, that's my
Joe
point.
Burrow's talked a lot of good things. He to this day they interview him all the time, and this shit
He said it
doesn't
Monday.
matter. This shit doesn't matter, but fans eat it up. This shit doesn't matter when Joe Burrow in the media goes, "I'm a Buckeye for life. I'm
Yeah.
always going to be a Buckeye." Of course, Ohio State. Of course, Columbus.
I like it.
All of Columbus at one time creamed their pants the minute all at one time.
I just did
boom.
it again when you said it out loud.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
yeah. Of course they love him. And
No, I
Columbus,
just that
Columbus
that
is
whole
an hour and a half from Cincinnati. So
Well, that's
that
it too.
too.
Of like, he knows all his fan base are like a good amount are probably Ohio State fans. So like, it's like, yeah, whatever. It'll just make my fan base love me more.
yeah.
No, it's one of those. It's so overplayed. The Ohio State claims it, blah blah. It's okay. You get the people that have Buckeye leaves as their Buckeye Man 32 on Twitter. Yeah, that guy's probably an asshole about it. Sure, but like the majority of people are like, yeah, like if he didn't claim us, if he was like kind of the Jameson Williams of like, nah,
Yes.
screw Ohio State. Like we don't really claim Jameson Williams because Jameson Williams doesn't claim us. Like it's different. And I think a big thing is he graduated there.
JD,
Like, he
you're
did graduate.
triggering Kevin.
No, I was gonna say I also just like making jokes about it. Like Alabama fans say the same thing and do the same things when it comes to Jalen Hurts.
Right.
Yeah.
He graduated from Alabama, went to Oklahoma. We're like, oh, great, good for him.
And it's like, sue me, I'm rooting for Joe Burrow to
Yeah.
have a good career because he's a good dude.
No,
Yeah,
it's
guys,
he went to
also
Ohio
He is
State.
a good dude. Even like they tried to dig up his Twitter. They just found great shit. Like it's
Yeah,
like
it's funny.
They found him
Dude,
taking
absolute
pictures
memes.
with like awesome, like the homecoming king. His 1 year had Down syndrome, and there's Joe taking pictures with him. Like this was the king. Like what a good dude. Like
I saw
Like,
him in the state championship. He played a Toledo team, and my buddy was on, and he bawled. His team they lost, but they had no business being in that game because the Toledo team, talented in 21 of the 22 positions, but they had Joe Burrow. Like he was a freak then, man. Like
But Kev-
he's just a dog.
Kev,
Sorry.
the point. I feel like you were making a good point there. When it's Ohio State, when it's Alabama,
Yeah.
when you're bringing in 2 4-star or 5-star quarterbacks every year in the draft class, you're gonna get guys that transfer. because you can only play so many guys. And
Wait,
so
now
Quinn
the
Ewers
tra-
is
now-
Quinn
now
Ewers
the
is going to be
transfer
good for
portal's even more.
Texas.
yeah,
Yeah, he just lost Quinn Ewers, so it's like,
Yeah,
you know,
he's going to be a dog at Texas, but it's like, okay, but we got
you
2
have
or 3
Stroud
years of
still.
CJ Stroud. Like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
people
you
will
guys
make
are
fun of
okay.
us. People will be like, you idiots, look what he's doing at Texas.
Like-
It's like, well,
okay,
like,
I can't really relate to this because this is the first year we actually have 3 4-star quarterbacks on our roster for this since 2001. But
4-star, that's cute.
hey, listen, we're
Can't
getting
relate.
back to it. We're getting
Can't
back
relate.
to it.
Actually, I can. We had a 3-star guy win us a natty. So I
Listen,
can't
Van
relate.
Dyke was a 4.5-star. I don't know how it's possible, but that's what it said on his Max Press profile.
it's because none of that shit matters.
None of it.
Exactly. Who's
Joe
called out?
Joe
I don't
Burrow's a
care.
3-star.
Giving these kids coming out of high
I know.
school these stars is like the preseason college
Guys,
football rankings.
Robert
It doesn't matter.
Nkindiche was the best recruit in my recruiting in my class, right?
Robert Kim
2013. You know what he's doing now? Probably like a cashier somewhere.
He was a
he
beast
made
at
it
Ole
from
Miss,
one-
though.
It's
Yeah, he
0-star
made-
Cooper Kupp starting in the Super Bowl.
Where
Like,
was he
who
drafted?
cares?
14th to Arizona.
After they leave campus and go to the draft, stars don't mean shit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I do not care.
It's all work ethic. No, it is. It's literally how much you want it and how talented you are.
Doesn't matter when you show up the first day of campus. If
Yeah,
it's
no,
camping, you can't compete. Seen a lot of 5-stars crash and burn.
Wasn't Tate Martell like
A
a
lot.
4-star?
Tate
my God.
Martell's
He's
a
like-
4-star. He was the
he was
national
like the-
player of the year.
Tate
Was he
Martell,
like the 7th ranked quarterback in his class?
He was
And he
only a
made-
4-star, but
He's
And he
literally
made
a backup at UNLV now.
No,
he
he
retired.
retired.
He
He's done.
retired.
Yeah,
from-
he's
Retired?
out.
He retired now? Okay.
he made the
He's a
biggest mistake ever. So I actually graduated. So I for our podcast purposes, and I grew up in Ohio. I'm a very fair weather Ohio State fan, and I admit
You
it.
said that last time, yeah.
I graduated from Texas A&M, so I'm an Aggie.
I knew that.
And so Tate Martell, the biggest mistake that dude made in his entire life was when he left Texas. He left his commitment to A&M to go to Ohio State. The minute he did that, because he would have started immediately at A&M.
He also
And
would have developed a lot better too.
The minute he did that, I was like, you're never going to see the
I don't know if
field at
that's
Ohio
true.
State.
Ryan Day was the
No, but
quarterbacks coach.
regardless, I just
I
was
was
like,
talking
you're
about
never going
Jared.
to see.
No, I'm not talking about
No,
what you
I'm
said,
saying
Mike.
only because A&M, but his development would have been
played.
faster only because he was playing.
He would have played.
Whereas,
yeah.
like, I feel like at Ohio State, he was
Oh.
kind of behind 3 other guys. It's
The
like,
minute he
doesn't
went to Ohio
matter.
State,
I
I'm like,
mean-
you're toast. You're done.
Guys have sat behind people for 3 years, come
He
in their
lost-
senior year and laid
okay.
it up.
he lost
It's
to
incredible
Jarrett
to me
and-
that
he lost to Jarrett Williams and N'Kosi Perry at Miami. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, that doesn't mean his development was stunted by going to Ohio State. That just means he might not have had a work ethic.
he would have. We
He
were
could have
living in a
started day
world.
one and sucked.
We were living in a world where he was number 1 on the depth chart before Justin Fields transferred there. Like he was going to be the starter at Ohio State, and then Justin Fields transferred, and then he transferred, and it turns out biggest bullet we ever dodged because the kid's just not very good.
I live in a world where I keep watching quarterbacks run away from my team, and I hate it. Like Kyler Murray was an Aggie quarterback, and they decided that he wasn't going to be the next thing, and they let him walk to Oklahoma. And it just always happens. And
I thought you guys were going to get Ewers there for a minute.
yeah, I don't really care about that, but we've got a good.
Hey, you have the
system down
number
there
1
now.
recruiting class to go 8-4 the next 3
Yeah.
years.
I know. That's
You guys are buying
Man,
the number 1 recruiting class.
my friends, man, the people I went to, they are so pumped about that number 1 recruiting class. I'm like, until it's not 8 wins on the season, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh wait, Mike, don't we play you guys week 3 this year?
Yeah,
Oh, that's gonna be a fun game. I'm excited.
Ask Georgia. You guys have the number 1 recruiting class. In 10 years, you'll win a natty.
yeah, right.
You just need 10 years of
Jimbo
cycling
Fisher
in,
will
like,
be
top
gone
3
at that
recruiting
point.
class. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, Kevin. So I got to ask you this as a unbiased fan of college football. Miami's out for blood on Jimbo Fisher. Do you give us a puncher's chance against A&M?
Why are you out for blood against Jimbo Fisher?
He coached at Florida State for like 5 fucking years, and it was 5-0 against us.
Oh, yeah, then no. 0% chance.
Actually, no, 4-1. Sorry,
0% chance. I don't care if he was 3-2.
putting money on
0.
Miami. Here we go.
Not winning. Yeah, you put money on Miami against the last time they played an SEC team.
Yeah, I remember the week
I actually
that
did because gambling was not legal in Connecticut at that
Jared
point, so
gave
I
me a
did
very passionate speech of why they had a punching chance against Bama that week. So that was the day I'm like, okay, Jared is emotionally a great. By the way, I love emotional fans because I'm an emotional fan. And
Fair.
sometimes people try to use a
but
little
in
too much
my
logic,
heart,
and it's like
I said,
it's supposed to be fun. Be
in my heart
dramatic.
of
and
hearts, JD,
Yeah.
I knew we
No,
were getting. There was a very good
well,
chance
then
we were
you
going to get our
lied to me
heads
because I
kicked
think
in.
you said, and I quote, "In my heart of hearts, I think we have a chance." So
A
that,
chance,
you were
but
just,
in my heart of hearts, I also knew it was like 1%. Like we needed a lot
I
of things to
appreciate
break
that.
our
No,
way.
Jarrett, what I appreciate is every week Miami was not good this year, and yet every week you came and told me an argument of like, well, hold on now, just wait now. We got that. Like you,
Listen,
you
and
had
then I
something
had the
buzzing at all times, and I
then
appreciate
this skinny, dorky, cocky white kid from Connecticut steps under center and beats 2 top 25 teams back to back.
He's doing it
and-
right now. I mean,
and all hope is restored.
Inspiring. It's inspiring.
I don't know. Like, dude, listen, like, I am an optimistic football fan, okay?
No, I
My
appreciate
teams
that.
are the Miami Hurricanes and the Philadelphia Eagles. I
Hold
don't
on,
know
hold
consistent
on.
winning.
That's rough.
Yeah,
Hold on, I gotta take freaking notes on your teams.
yeah.
Hold on,
No,
let me
they're
find
literally
Yep.
in every corner of the country.
Just pick a really bad team and
You're missing like a Pacific Northwest. You need to.
He's
root for,
got
like,
teams
Fuck
in different
the
area
Pacific
codes.
Northwest.
You need to root for like
He's a big Vancouver Canucks fan.
Yeah, there you
Damn
go.
straight. No, I'm Pittsburgh Penguins, actually.
Of
only in the
course you are.
playoffs.
Yeah,
Only in the
That's
no.
it.
All right. You got to remember, Jared is fans of teams that are either
Philadelphia
good
Eagles,
when
but Pittsburgh
we were
Penguins.
little, or good like in the mid 2000s.
It has nothing to do with when they were good. I just liked them when I liked them. I'm not
All
even
right,
kidding.
when did you start rooting for the Diamondbacks?
2002.
The Diamondbacks. Oh, right
Well-
after they won the World Series.
All right.
Well, okay.
When were you
I
a fan
did.
of the-
Okay.
When were you
To
a
my,
fan of the
to my,
Timberwolves?
I was 6. I
Guardians
didn't
or
even
die,
know they
baby.
won the World Series until I was in a library and saw a cover of Randy Johnson with the World Series trophy.
And you were like,
SI.
well, that's my team.
Well, no, I liked them because I loved snakes as a
Wait.
kid. I'm not even kidding. I loved reptiles as a kid, so I picked the
The
Diamondbacks.
reasons for your
Wait,
is it
And
because
also-
is it because all your
And
friends
also,
like
my
snakes?
first baseball card ever was Randy Johnson. I still have that card in my room.
Which
When
one
did
was
you
like your
become a fan
uncle's
of the
favorite team that
Timberwolves?
you adopted?
Pittsburgh Penguins.
When did you become a fan of the Timberwolves?
02.
Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, that's my dog. Kevin
When they
Garnett
were
is basically God
Competent.
to me. Him and Dawkins are like God to me.
Hey, I think I will say I feel like the Cavs have a guy that's about as close to the next Kevin Garnett as we're going to see in a while.
Yeah,
I think
I
Evan
give-
Mobley.
I
Evan
give
Mobley's
that-
about as close to the next Kevin Garnett as we're going
I
to see.
want to see him have that dog fight mentality. But listen, man, I'll
He's
give the
got it.
stamp of approval. Let's see him sock somebody, and I'm good. No.
Suck somebody.
No, Mike. He's got to walk up to a ball guy and say he's a cancer patient, or else it ain't worth it.
It was a
Cavs are
different.
finally drafting well.
It was a different.
Kevin
size.
Garnett. I was this. There was the kid at my gym today. He was asking me. He's like, "You're a Wolf." I had my T-Wolves sweatshirt on. He goes, "You're a T-Wolves fan?" I'm like, "Yeah, since like 02." And he goes, "Damn, I was born in 04." I'm like, "God damn, I feel freaking old." And he goes,
Yeah, but it also validates you, and I'm an old man, and I can help to invalidate. How about the Eagles? When did you pick the Eagles?
when I was a little kid, I really had another
Years.
football team. My dad. Okay, so 02, 03.
Checks out.
Donovan.
So
McNabb?
I was
All
like
right.
6 or 7 years old, and so my dad was a
Was that
Vikings
2
fan.
years before the Super Bowl?
Okay, yeah, 2 years before the Super Bowl. That was when they lost the
Okay.
Buccaneers in the divisional round. That was the first game I ever. That was the first game I ever watched. Was they lost the Buccaneers in the championship game? I remember this
Good
because
first
like
game.
when I was a kid, my teachers were hanging out like NFL pencils. She's a big football fan. I think she's like the Steelers or some shit. And so my buddies all picked like all the local teams. My favorite color was always green. So there was 2 green pencils, a Jets pencil and an Eagles pencil.
That's fair.
That's yeah.
I
Listen,
grabbed the
I'm-
Eagle. I still
Long-term
wait,
better investment.
Jared,
I
I'm
still-
gonna give you credit on one thing. I'm gonna give you credit on something. You're a Connecticut dude.
Yes.
I give you credit that you didn't pick the New York teams, and I give you credit that you didn't pick the Boston teams.
No.
I wish
I'll
he
give you
picked the
credit for
Jets
that.
pencil so bad. That would have been so much comedy in my life. That would have been incredible.
See, the
Dude,
thing
I
is, like,
couldn't
I
imagine-
also
I think
I
you guys
also
should all send
fit
him
in
Jets
so
pencils
well
for
with-
Christmas.
So I went to my very first Eagles game at the Link this year, the Tuesday night game against the Redskins. Sorry, that's not the name anymore.
Commies.
It's the Commies, actually.
I love it.
Okay, I went to the game. I was like, it was like walking around surrounded by my own species of human. My buddy was with me.
Yeah.
He is
That's a
diehard-
claim, man.
my best
Philly
friend.
people are a
One of my best
people to
friends.
claim.
Friends of the show, Jeffrey, aka Mr. Maserati, he does our intro music. He's a diehard Giants fan, but he loves. Me and him have been boys for a long time. He shows up in a Allen Iverson jersey to an Eagles game as a Giants fan, and he was rooting for my Birds the entire time. That's a true friend right there. This kid is like watching me grin cheek to cheek. I am watching dudes drop vodka bottles into the empty containers walking into the ticket line, and I'm like, I'm hearing Dallas sucks. I'm hearing fuck the Giants. I'm hearing all this crazy shit. I think I heard Tom Brady's a pussy at least twice. Like I was like,
dude. So
I was hearing some crazy. Yeah.
Full disclosure, I was a Penguins fan my whole life.
Respect.
Because we don't have a hockey team in Cleveland, and the minor league team for the Penguins was
Jackets,
the Cleveland.
baby.
It was the Cleveland Lumberjacks. Remember, I'm an old man. The Jackets came around when I was 17 or I don't know, 15, whatever years old.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember when the Jackets came around.
Right. So the Pittsburgh Penguins minor league team was the Cleveland Lumberjacks for my entire time growing up. So I saw
Monsters now.
Well, they are the Monsters now, and they're a Blue Jackets affiliate, but it was Penguins forever back then.
Right.
And so I watched all these Penguins guys come up and play, and oh shit.
Oh, it was in different area codes, dude.
She also
Hey,
texted
listen,
me
as
that you're a
long-
slut, Jared, so
if-
that was the nicer way of putting it.
I know you guys aren't Cleveland guys, so if you want something funny to read that has to do with that, read there's a Cleveland suburb where their mayor just said that if you allow people to build ice fishing shanties on their local lake, that it's going to lead to prostitution.
Oh, hell yeah.
So,
I don't see the issue.
Lit.
Yeah.
Pat,
Where's
wanna
the
go
problem?
grill
He
some
goes-
ice
he goes-
fish
he's got
rolls?
my
He goes,
vote.
"Hey, girl."
he goes, literally the comment was, first it's ice fishing, and then if you allow ice fishing, they're going to want to build the shanties to like keep them warm, and you're going to have shanties all out over this lake.
Finally, someone saying
And then
it.
and then you know the numbers bear it out. This is what he said. He goes, the numbers bear it out. Once you build the shanties, prostitution. Fucking what?
It's how you keep extra.
It's literally a slippery slope.
So Jared, you can house your hose
Thanks,
on a
Pat.
lake here in Cleveland.
I always wanted to go to Cleveland. So
Come for a Browns game, Jared. I'll definitely go to a Browns
JD,
game.
I have a lot of like, I think I have some airline miles saved up, but I would love to actually see. I also want to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame too.
It's a good time.
It's literally
And
right
I
there,
also
right next to it.
I also want to go see my personal heroes bust in Canton, so like I have to go for that too.
It's about an hour away.
Weapon X.
That's a good weekend, honestly.
Yeah.
You can do all those three things in one
Yeah,
weekend.
no, my
They're very
parents did
close.
that. Like my parents did it like 5 years ago.
It's a good time.
I've
Anyway,
actually never been to the Hall of Fame as an Ohio person. I know that's crazy.
Yes, Kevin. What's the problem?
I was nothing. JD's yelled at me for saying this before.
what?
Say it. I don't know what you're gonna say.
And Jared, if you go to Cleveland in the winter and get cold, just warm up by the river fire.
Okay.
It hasn't been on fire in like
That's
really
okay.
long.
Why? It's almost
really
like you
funny.
look
Actually,
over your shoulder
I think
to
Kevin,
get that
I
little
think the
thing where it's like
river
you haven't
and
had a
water
river
They
fire
do
fire
for
this
and
all the
everything
seven
time.
days.
You guys literally live in the East Coast. Your rivers are disgusting.
My
Okay.
river. literally,
Excuse
the
you.
river-
They cleaned up the Charles River in the 80s.
They
very
cleaned
much.
up the
only
Long
found-
Island Sound 5 years ago.
I
They
only
cleaned
found
up the
one dead
Cuyahoga
fish.
River in the 70s after it caught on fire.
They burned off all the
All
bad
right.
stuff. It's good.
Yeah,
now.
they didn't clean it up. There's like, oh,
Oh.
let nature take its course.
So Jared, I was going to tell you this about Philly fans. I was a Penguins fan literally until we started the Garage Beers podcast. And I have pretty much renounced my Penguins fandom because the Columbus Blue Jackets
Kind
have
of
been
have to. Yeah.
they've been so good to us. We're getting ready to go down there and host a Garage Beers podcast from the loading dock, aka the garage in Nationwide Arena. Like
That's awesome.
we're gonna have a good time, man.
I love
That's-
Nationwide too. Been there.
But I was a big time diehard Penguins fan. They won their back. They always win back-to-back titles.
Back-to-back.
Apparently, early in the 90s, they won back-to-back, and then they won back-to-back in the 2010s. It was awesome. I will tell you this: I went as a Penguins fan. Whenever that Stadium Series game was against the Flyers in the lake,
I was 15 or
2019.
16.
No, 2019. It
Oh
was
yeah,
like
no, that was a lot more recent. Yeah, that's right.
2019.
Yeah.
Here's Philly fans in a nutshell. I'm a Penguins fan. I'm there in all my Penguins gear, but I'm a respectful fan because that's how I feel like it should be. So I'm not there talking shit to anybody. I'm just there rooting for my team, having a good time, drinking some beers, enjoying my time. That's how fans should act. I get tons of comments. I get comments from these dudes like right in front of us. They were like, for a Pens fan, you guys are pretty cool. And we're like, cool, man. Let's buy each other some beers and have a good time. We had a great time through the whole game. The Flyers come back from a 3-1 lead at the end of the game to win the game in overtime. And as we're walking out, those same fucking dudes that told us how much fun we were having start chucking beers at us as we're walking out. That's Philadelphia fans. In
I
a
will.
nutshell.
There's a split though. I have buddies who are from Philly. Shout out to me and Kevin's boy Mark Riley. He can confirm this. My former co-host. There's a split. There are Philly Eagles fans who do not want Flyers fans are degenerates.
Okay.
They're the same
No,
people.
there are
Eagles
That's
not true because
Standing
Jared's an
citizens.
Eagles fan and not a Flyers fan.
Let
So
me
the Eagles are
finish it.
good and the Flyers are bad.
There are all Flyers fans, all
Philadelphia
Flyers.
Phillies
No,
fans.
no, all Flyers fans are Eagles fans, but all Eagles fans are Flyers fans. Okay,
Just you.
listen, Flyers fans are a disgusting bunch.
Man, the
I've never
charts
seen
of
it
your
before.
fans and the overlaps.
I'm at a
Did they
sports
throw
bar-
batteries at Santa?
Yeah, no,
I've
I
always
believe-
said this.
I
I've
think that
always
was
said
Phillies
this.
fans.
I've always said this. North Carolina basketball fans are good, but their football fans, bunch of assholes. I've always said
Okay,
that.
listen. Okay, I'm at a sports bar wearing a Penguin snapback. I was in New Jersey. I had a Flyers fan slap it off my head because he's like,
Good.
"Oh, yo, fuck the Pens." I'm like, "I'm a fucking Eagles fan." He goes, "Well, you're a fucking traitor." Then I'm not gonna.
You know
repeat he said
what?
that.
No, but yeah,
I-
you know what?
I
agree
don't
with that
blame
guy.
him.
I
Jared.
Oh
agree
no,
with that guy.
I almost said, if the dude wasn't 35, I would have taken his ass out back and beaten him. But it's like,
No, he's
Okay,
I'm
right.
with family.
Two things.
He's
What the hell does
right.
that mean? Two. Yeah, he's
If
right.
I saw
That is right.
someone in a Yankees hat and I was like, dude, fuck the Yankees. Like, oh, I'm a Pats fan though. I would hate him even
Yeah.
more.
And he's from
Imagine
Connecticut. That tracks
Imagine how
though.
fucking confused you'd be if you saw someone in a Yankees cap, a Pats sweatshirt. I'd be like, "What are you doing?
Welcome
what
to
is
my
wrong?"
high school.
Jared, it's
That's my
worse.
high school. My high
That's
school was
worse.
all Pats fans, but they were all Yankees or Red Sox fans.
Yeah,
had
but
a
then they're wearing
friend-
Diamondback pants, fucking
That's-
Timberwolves shoes. I'd be so confused.
Jared, next time you're in Philadelphia, just learn your lesson. What you did was worse. What you did
Oh, I know
worse.
it was.
To
But
say
that's-
that you're an
I'm
Eagles
me.
fan and
I
a,
am me,
and a
so it's
Penguins
fine.
fan is worse.
I also my full disclosure. Hockey's my sixth sport. I watch during the playoffs. That's about it, though.
Man, I don't know, man.
I literally, it's behind
You-
college basketball, everything
it-
else.
It's your sixth sport, but you care about it enough to wear a Penguins hat in Philly.
I was in South Jersey. There's a difference.
That's basically
Yeah,
Philly.
that is.
There's a
Oh, I
river
wasn't in
separating it.
Boston. I wasn't in Boston. I was in
It's New
Dorchester.
England.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Niche
Yeah,
humor.
that's rough.
Oh my god.
That's rough.
No, listen.
I
My
wasn't in
experience.
Tuscaloosa,
I
I was
also
in
almost
Northport. It's
fought.
fine.
Okay, so I texted this to Kevin.
No one gets that reference, Kevin.
I
know.
met
That's
an,
it.
No
I
one
met
knows.
an Eagles fan
Must
version
be a
of Kevin.
suburb of Tuscaloosa.
I met an Eagles fan version of Kevin. He looked like Kevin. He talked like Kevin, and he was the most annoying motherfucker on the planet. And only because
tells you what he thinks about Kevin.
no,
that's
Kevin,
fair. I don't
Kevin
disagree.
is one of my best friends. But I also
Said the
it's-
quiet part
I
out
think
loud.
the problem is that this kid tried to fight me because I was trying to defend Rager, only because the poor dude was literally he just broke a ridiculous kick return the play before. But he's like, yo, fuck. He was saying some shit about Rager. And I said, listen, give the kid a chance. He's in his second fucking year. Aguilar didn't start playing good until his third or fourth year because we were comparing the two.
then
And
he
this kid
forgot.
almost got up and tried to fight me. And then he realized I had 5 inches on him and I was wasted. And this guy's like, yo, I dapped up all of his buddies. We were all celebrating when the Eagles were coming back. And he's like, yo, fuck you, bro. I'm like, go back to Connecticut. I'm like, okay, that's how you want to play this? And so for the rest of the day, me and my boy called him Philly Kevin.
He might be right about Rager, though.
Oh, no, he might be right about Rager. I'm done. Jalen Rager's dead to me.
Moral of the story.
I tried to give him a chance, and then he blew it. All right, Mike. I know
Justin
you gotta go.
Jefferson
I know you
feels
gotta go soon. But listen, I want your prediction. Who you got?
Man, Super Bowl. I am going to listen. I think we got a great game ahead of us. I think the Rams' offense is wildly inconsistent. I think the Bengals have had the best streak of good luck defense I think I've ever seen. The way their defense has stepped up in the playoffs and just made plays. What they did in the second half against the Chiefs is one of the great defensive performances you'll ever see. I don't know that the Bengals defense can do it again because they have played so far over their heads this entire postseason. And I think the Bengals offensive line is the Achilles heel, especially when you are going up against one of the best defensive lines in all of football, including the best defensive lineman in the entire game. I think Aaron Donald's going to feast. I think Joe Burrow's in trouble. I think he's going to be running for his life. I think he's going to make plays. I think Joe Burrow's going to make some plays in the Super Bowl that make the entire world go, holy shit, this dude's a superstar. I don't think he's going to make enough plays for them to win. So I'm going to say the Rams win. I don't think it's going to be a super high scoring game, but I think the Rams win somewhere in the range of like 28-21, something like that.
Okay, so the Bengals don't cover.
I don't think so.
Okay. Mike, man. Listen,
I was
buddy,
really
we
hoping,
love
by the way, before Jared's time, I was really hoping you're saying I don't think it's going to be a very high scoring game. I'm going to go like 42-38.
Yeah. Listen, and some of these teams, man, you could do that, but I feel like you just can't help. These are right now, whether you like it or not, they're the two best teams in football. That's why they're playing in the Super Bowl. So I don't think you can keep these offenses down per se, but I don't think this is going to be one of those offensive explosions, especially for the Bengals, because that's what they're going to need to do to win. And I just don't think they're going to have it in them. So I think it's Rams.
There you go. Mike, man, listen, we appreciate you coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, check them out. Garage Beers Podcast, literally one of the most entertaining podcasts. I listen to it all the time. Even though I'm not a Cleveland guy whatsoever, it's still entertaining, especially when I like today, I'm working on the owner of the Milwaukee Bucks' like bathroom vanity. And I'm literally listening to my literal shuffle today was McAfee Show, Rich Eisen, Garage Beers, and then Craft Brew. That was my shuffle today. So you know what? It worked.
For us Ohioans, it's like crack. It is actually. I love your show. I love your tweets as well.
Check them out. They are very entertaining. Mike, always a friend of the show. We appreciate you coming on, brother. Enjoy Sunday. We'll hopefully have you on again during the off season as well, so you can yell at Samir for missing the show today.
Yes, I'm in. Hey, I appreciate you guys. Good work as always.
You can come on for the Cavs Bucks Eastern Conference Championship.
I mean,
what are you
like when the Cavs win? When the Cavs win it?
When they're getting ready to play, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Hey, listen, guys. I had a great time. I'm willing to jump on with you guys anytime. Thanks for reaching out. Appreciate that, and keep it up, man. You guys are awesome.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good night.
See you, Mike.
See you guys.
Bye, Mike.
One of my favorite. He's on our Mount Rushmore guest, man. I love him, man.
All that talk about the Cavs, by the way, just made me sad about Colin Sexton again.
Also, I am like upset because I'm like, dude, I did not want to talk about my fandom for the entire fucking show. We get it.
Better
I like
teams.
To be fair,
leave me alone. I like who I like. Shut up.
Yes, hear your fandom. They can't help but have questions, like because it's just kind of all over. That happens a lot when people don't know your fandom.
All right. Well, of course, folks, if you are still checking it out, listen. If you are a fan of looking sweet, Kevin's got like a fresh pair of sunglasses on right now. I, of course, have these, and I have my phasers also in my work truck. Pat's got a pair as well. If you love these sunglasses, you should definitely check out the amazing folks at YeatsOfficial.com. Go to, of course, the website. Should pick up promo code Corner Booth for 10% off right now. Get any pair of shades. Listen, knocks the shipping off right away. Plus, maybe it's $1 or $2 depending on which model you got. But listen. They are official sponsor of the Corner Booth and of our next segment. Ironically, we're talking gambling, boys. So Samir is reaching out to us from beyond the grave. No, I'm just kidding. From beyond the classroom. Apparently, he can't get to his phone. So he sent me, smart enough, he sent me tweets early in advance of what the bets are we liked for this year. Here are our top 5 prop bets for the Super Bowl, like that you could actually make some money on. So right now, honorable mention. There's one honorable mention. Mark Cuban's been doing this for what, 20 fucking years, JD? The first scoring play right now, a field goal is plus 128. That's not actually a bad value, honestly. A safety is plus 10,000.
I think that's bound to happen.
It happened during the Panthers Broncos Super Bowl.
His was the first play too, so it was like
Yeah.
plus like 100,000. It was ridiculous.
Also, this one I love this bet because these are very two aggressive offenses. My number 5 is simply this. Will either team convert a 4th down attempt in their own territory? Yes is plus 270. That's taking money because I guarantee
someone's gonna be down late and have to like make a play or something.
That's handing you. By the way, these odds are courtesy of FanDuel Sportsbook. The other one I love is, will both teams score a touchdown on the opening drive? It hasn't happened in a while, but it's plus 1100.
Touchdown, not just score.
Score. Oh no, score touchdown. But still, dude, it for a $1 bet and you walk over with $120. It's not. I mean, $111.20 technically, but you still like for a $1 bet. It's something you take a flyer on. I love.
Did you say 11,000 or 1,100?
It's plus 1,120, which means you'd walk away with $120.
I thought it means you'd walk away with 12.
11. No, it's you take a 0 off if you put $1 down.
Okay.
Yeah. So you put $1 down on a bet like that, you walk away with. I think I'm doing the math right.
No, I don't think you are. I think you would walk away with $12.
But still, $12 on a $1 bet.
$10 on it.
$10 on it. That's okay. So yeah, my math is. This is why
you were doing the 1-0 over because you usually bet in increments of like 10. Like
that's yeah. Thank you for that. Actually tracks actually. QB yardage props. This is the other one I like because I have a weird feeling that both quarterbacks are somehow going to fall backwards into 400 yards passing. Like this game might accidentally become a shootout. As in, like, one team gets up early, but then another team starts coming back late and starts throwing the ball a lot. Both teams, this is like kind of like this is the Hail Mary bet. Both quarterbacks throw for 400 yards. I know it's only happened like 3 or 4 times in history of the Super Bowl. Plus 550.
I think we could see that though with this game.
Yeah, plus 550 is not bad.
I don't know if we will. I think Stafford will hit it.
I think that the Rams pull ahead early. And that leads to playing from behind, and Burrow just kind of balls out.
My concern is with if the Bengals start throwing it a lot, that just gives Von Miller and Aaron Donald permission to pin their ears back and get after him.
Oh yeah,
and also it's a little different throwing to Eli Apple than it is to Jalen Ramsey.
Eli Apple made the play of the season for the Bengals, so you call
all right
for dropping that gift interception.
Yeah, right. I would have a walk-in touchdown because Eli Apple ain't slow.
I mean, it was overtime, so that would have.
Yeah. Well, no, like he also like if he caught that ball, Kevin, he literally like if you look at the screen from the All-22 film, he literally had a gap the size of like a fucking canal to run through to score.
Yeah, Eli Apple's bad.
Yeah, he's terrible. He's a joke. But anyway, he made the play of their season. They saved their season. All right, here's another one I love. This one's actually pretty good because I know it hasn't happened. I believe Devin Hester was the last one to return this. To do this, opening kickoff for a touchdown plus 8,000. It's a Hail Mary shot, but listen, that's not bad. I mean, we were talking about this on the show on Tuesday. The problem is the 2 kick returns for either team are not the most explosive bunch, but honestly, that kind of makes me think it's possible.
I mean, who knows? Like,
yeah.
Can I break some funny news right now?
Go for
it. So they're drafting. It's LeBron and Kevin Durant are drafting their all-star teams, and it was Kevin Durant's choice. And literally the last 2 players left were Rudy Gobert and James Harden. And he picked James Harden, and literally like everyone on set, like he was trying to be serious and like give his answer why. And everyone on set, including LeBron, is just like face in hands, like laughing like little kids. It's actually hilarious video. Everyone's just, like literally he had the opportunity. He literally James Harden was the last pick, and Kevin Durant picked Rudy Gobert, and literally LeBron just starts dying laughing, and Shaq and freaking Charles and Ernie are literally like, yeah, that's a good pick, Kevin. Like they're all like, it's really funny. It's on Twitter. You gotta check it out when you're done, people.
All right, and so the last bet is for MVP. It's a double. So
Joe Mixon.
The odds-on favorite to win Super Bowl MVP right now is Matthew Stafford at plus 125. Then Burrow plus 230, Cooper Kupp plus 550, Donald plus 1500, Jamar Chase plus 2500, Odell Beckham plus 2700, Cam Akers plus 2700, T. Higgins plus 6000, Mixon plus 4000, Von Miller plus 3900, which is hysterical. My value pick here is Joe Mixon.
That's my
Odell-
value pick.
And also Odell
Well,
I'll give you
Beckham.
that on the show.
I feel
You
like Von
did.
Miller's
So shout out to
better.
Okay.
JD for this.
Okay, all right.
Odell Beckham, only because the guy's expecting a kid like in the next day or so. I heard it might have been, it was either PMT or Rich Eisen, or it might be McAfee. Like dudes who have like kids before the Super Bowl usually show out. I don't know what where they pulled this out of their ass from, but I'll take that bet for like a $2 throw in.
Have a kid, it doesn't come out of your ass, Jared.
No, where they
Yeah,
pulled the bet out of.
Yeah,
Shut
no,
up.
it's the other side.
Yeah. And the other one was Joe Mixon, who honestly, with Ramsey probably taking away either Higgins or Chase, and the fact is, the best way
He's
to
so good in the screen game, too.
and also the best way to take away Aaron Donald is running the football. It has been for the last like 5 years. Every team who's beaten the Rams has run the football and kept away from Donald.
Him behind Cam Akers is a joke to me.
Yeah, I know it is. It's totally an LA. By the way, the discrepancy between so I have DraftKings' odds and FanDuel's odds. They're very different.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I think the
FanDuel's
ones
are
I was looking at were
jacked up. FanDuel's are
Oddshark,
jacked up.
which
They
came
always
from
jack their
FanDuel.
odds up because FanDuel's about promotions. They're about like everything else. Like DraftKings I think just copies and pastes Caesar's ads. Caesar Sportsbook odds. I swear to God, that's all I do. I haven't checked Barstool Sportsbook odds because I don't think it's available in Connecticut. So I don't think I can even access it. But
It must be nice to even have access to sports books on your phone versus having to actually like go out to a casino.
yeah, I mean, like, listen, the fact that I have access to it now, like, I mean, Pat, I think you guys get it January next, like January. I think you guys.
Oh, do we?
I think so. Kevin, you?
No,
Do you not live in Connecticut?
No, they live in Mass. I live in Connecticut.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I'm pretty sure we went over this last week.
Maybe.
It passed the House. We need the Senate to vote on it. The Senate is holding it up because they don't want people to bet on college sports. And then
Yeah,
if the Senate
right.
votes on it, then the governor has to sign
That's
off
right.
on
Keep
it.
college
and-
sports clean.
And frankly, I don't think Baker gives a shit anymore. He's not running for re-election. So if he really
he's
hates gambling,
done.
he's just going to vote no. Or he's
He's
just going
vote-
to veto.
Yeah, he should just vote yes for the joke of it, for like the meme. Let me
boy,
gamble in peace
My
from home.
favorite bet here is Sony Michelle plus 10,000 and Van Jefferson plus 10,000. It's like on the off fucking chance that happens, be hysterical. But it's like I love like the
Was that for MVP?
MVP, yeah. Also, like they haven't posted the the alternative rushing yards odds, which are usually the ones I go to the most. Because instead of betting the over/under for rushing yards, you just bet they hit this number, and it's always plus this, plus that. So, but yeah, so that was Samir from Beyond the Grave, aka being in class. And mine's prop bets to look out for. Also, the coin flip, obviously,
Tails.
it's just bet tails. Come on, like.
Also, bet the over on Joe Mixon receiving yards. He's 5 for 5 in his last 5 games.
As I said, he's huge in the screen.
Kev, that was a home run. I love that.
Thanks. Also, I think the number's super low too.
What is it? Is it still below 70? No, still below 30 or whatever it is.
I think it might be.
Because it was really fucking low early in the week when I looked at it because I did a couple same game parlays for the Super Bowl like on Sunday just to count because I had to burn a couple free bets at DraftKings. By the way, DraftKings made me burn my same game parlays that were I had a 10 game, I had a $10 free one and a $5 free one from a promotion I did a couple weeks back. They expired on the Pro Bowl. They wanted me to use them on the Pro Bowl. I said, fuck that. I used them on the Super Bowl. I did these two ridiculous parlays. One is plus 20,000. One is plus 150,000 for total odds.
Yikes. Also, according to Playmaker Betting, it's 24.5 yards over under for Mixon.
That's a fucking roll with that. Especially with the pass rush. Zach Taylor's going to want to get after them early in screen game. All right, boys, we got 10 minutes left. We got to start talking game here. Who wants to take the lead here?
Pat.
Yeah. So I said it earlier. I think this is our Rams kind of run away with it in the first half, and Bengals have to play from behind, and the hopeful underdog kind of in me wants to say Bengals, but I feel like the Rams is just the defense is so talented, and then the offense with Matt Stafford can at least throw something together. I think Rams by 10.
Okay. Mr. Garrett. Oh, I'm sorry, Jay Dizzle.
Yeah, I kind of said on the show, I think the Rams are going to win. I think Mike kind of made part of the point I was making on our show the other day that the Bengals defense is, albeit playing very good. I trust the Rams defense to slow down the Bengals just enough more than I trust the Bengals defense to slow down the Rams. There's just more talented in every position. Joe Burrow, that's what shows you how special Joe Burrow is, though, is that you could make an argument that the Rams are better in pretty much every position except for quarterback and running back, probably. And yet, because they have Joe Burrow, because he's that dude, they got a shot. I mean, they really do. But I think the Rams cover. I think it's probably like a touchdown win or, something like that. Or I could even see it being like 6 points or something like that. But relatively high scoring, I think. And I think the Rams just get a couple key stops, maybe a big turnover or something like that, flip the field. I think Stafford's ready for his moment. I really do. I think he's going to play well.
There you go.
So Rams to cover, too.
I mean, Cincinnati, everyone's talking about the Rams pass rush. Cincinnati gave up 9 sacks against the Titans and still won the game.
But they only scored 19 points. That's kind of my point.
But I think the fact that Joe Burrow could still put up 19 is kind of impressive. And
right, but they're going to need more than 19.
Yeah. Plus, also,
kind of
Cincinnati ruined pasta and chili in one go. And also, their airport's not even in the state of Ohio. So, go Rams.
Either is their city.
What?
Yeah, it's Kentucky.
Oh, wow.
Yep. We don't claim them in Ohio.
Wow. Unfortunate.
Cincinnati is having a moment, though, the city.
Well,
they're having a moment.
About time.
If you have
first time ever.
You have followed this live stream for the past 4 straight weeks. I have always picked against the Bengals, and they've always won. I would love to pick the Bengals because I'm rooting for, like I was saying to Mike when he was on before, the story of the Bengals is fun. Like, I have no real stake in this. Yeah, the Harambe thing's hysterical. I love that shit. Like, that is the funniest thing I heard all week. And I know it was totally memes, but at the same time, it's like, I just want this whole shithole of the last 2 years to end. So maybe if Joe Burrow wins, he is the chosen one.
Harambe comes back from the grave.
The last time I was truly happy was probably the summer of 2016. So that'd be nice.
Yeah,
same.
Great
summer.
I literally, except for one dark night in February of 2018. Besides that, not real much happiness. It's a lot of break even. God, I am rooting for the Bengals. I have put money on the Bengals. I want them to win, but in my gut, all 22 film. I watched. So yesterday, I got off the Tuesday I got off the show. I sat down and I watched about maybe an hour and a half of film on both teams, just on regular season, not playoffs. So I wanted to see how they reacted under normal circumstances. The fact that the Von Miller, Leonard Floyd, and Aaron Donald are on the same D line, and the fact that the Bengals had struggled even in the regular season of protecting Burrow is, you can't ignore that. Mike and JD are both on point there. The one shot the Bengals have is that Jalen Ramsey doesn't travel. He stays on one side of the field. That is his side of the field. He never moves. Whether he's covering T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, it doesn't matter, or Jamar Chase. He never moves. So, I think it's going to be close. I think the Bengals will cover. I think it's going to be a field goal game. I think Matt Gay is going to step in and hit about a 45-yarder with maybe a couple minutes left, and they're going to drive down, but they're not going to be able to get a pass off. I think Donald's going to do what he did to Kyler Murray in the wild card round, and it's just going to call it, and Stafford's going to be MVP. I think the Rams got this. I think all the free agents, all the, the stories behind everyone's talking about the Bengals story, right? The individual stories from some of these players who have come to the Rams are actually pretty cool. So you have Stafford, obviously, we talked about it 1,000 times, where he, suffered in Detroit. Odell Beckham went from the Giants, who were like a playoff team in 2016, to a dumpster fire. Goes to Cleveland. Baker Mayfield just forgets how to throw the football, and he forgets how to catch it. And then you go to the Rams, where he starts catching touchdowns. I think he had 7 touchdowns in 8 games, or 8 touchdowns in 7 games, whatever it was. Great. He was actually catching the ball. You have Eric Weddle, who 3 weeks ago was sitting on his fucking couch when McVay called him, playing ball at the Y to stay in shape. Von Miller in tears when he's traded away from Denver. And then you have Aaron Donald, who has been there since they were in fucking St. Louis. One of his first sacks of his career was fucking Carson Palmer. So, and McVay, who got mentally bitch slapped by Bill Belichick in 2018. Sony Michel, who was a Patriots reject, career rejuvenation, and of course Cam fucking Akers.
A lot of people say Joe Judge was the mastermind of that 2018 Patriots team. a lot of people say that.
Good thing he's back.
And last but not least, Cam Akers, who fucking blew his Achilles out in July and is now currently playing in the Super Bowl.
Mr. Butterfingers himself.
I think either way, where this goes, is going to be a Hollywood ending for either team who wins in Hollywood, ironically. But I think it is the Rams. I think this is their year. I just, I'd love to see the Bengals win. It would be so great. But the chips are stacked enough. And JD remembers on Tuesday, I made an argument for the Rams. It was a lot of team of destiny, a lot of emotional stuff. It was not about stuff on Bengals, sorry. But it was
just to be clear, though, Jared, if the Bengals win, you can't be like, see, I actually thought the Bengals were going to win. That's
no. I am pick. Well, also, JD, you remember what I also said, right? I'm not going to claim this. I'm not going to claim this, but I'm also saying, I am picking the Rams, hoping my jinx is still in play here.
Exactly.
I'm pulling a Mark Riley. Kevin knows this joke.
You can't lose. You just can't lose then.
No, I don't think anybody in America could really lose unless you're a NFC West team or a NFC North team. Honestly, AFC North team. AFC, because honestly, this is the first, like Mike said, and Pat, I think Mike or Pat, both of you said it, I believe. There's not really a team who hate the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think everyone, it's kind of like both are great stories. Either way, we're going to have a great ending. I feel like it's kind of nice because oh my God, I can't even remember the last time. I think pre-Brady. No, I mean, did anybody really hate the Broncos or Seahawks back in the day?
The Seahawks maybe for their second because it was the back-to-back situation.
Yeah. No, I'm talking first Super Bowl.
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, yeah. The only issue that I have is one team has to lose. Unfortunately, one team has to not win.
You don't know.
The other thing I heard is with Burrow is
could all die before that.
They've been making a Dan Marino comparison, and I'm like, oh God, that'd be horrible if he gets this one shot at the Super Bowl. Because Marino, if you guys know your NFL history, second year goes to the Super Bowl under Don Shula, never makes it back again. And they're comparing that to Joe Burrow, what if he loses? And I'm like, God, that's fucking horrible to hear that shit, honestly.
No wonder the dude's just dumb on social media right now.
Oh my God, I don't know. But it's what this game is going to be. I'm excited. Honestly, I wish the three of you could come to my house this weekend and come watch the game. But I know, of course, we all have work Monday. I don't. I took it off because I was smart about it. But
I'm working from home.
I mean, oh no, I told my boss. Also, my boss will be in Maryland, so he won't actually care if I'm not showing up to work or not.
I'm going to Florida tomorrow for the week, but I'm working at home from Florida. It's gonna be very nice.
Where are you going in Florida, buddy?
Cocoa Beach.
Nice,
My,
man.
My godfather lives there. That's our go-to right outside of Orlando. It's fun.
You going
I'm
golfing?
excited.
You a golf guy, JD? I forgot.
I love golfing. Yeah, I golfed in high school. I was
Uh,
much better at that time than I am now because I don't have
So-
as much money to spend on it. And in high school, I golfed every day, so I was actually pretty good.
So JD, when we track you out to we get you out here to the East Coast. I think you, me, and Samir gotta go, and maybe because I
I'll
know
bring the
Kevin won't go.
sticks.
You can bring the sticks,
I will. That's what's up.
dude. We'll go golfing. There's gonna go golfing.
I also got to play tennis with Samir.
I'll ref because I can't stand tennis. Playing it at least. I'm that kid who would literally ADHD try to smack it out of the yard. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the Super Bowl preview show.
And
Please
Kevin
watch-
didn't even try to marry anybody. Good job, Kev. You didn't try to marry our guest. You didn't try to get married, Mike.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Kevin, definite improvement from last year. We want to give a special shout out to Pat Donahue. He will be returning, of course, in August.
Thank you for your
our
service, Pat.
NFL preview show, tailgate. A preview show, pregame. JD, of course, his last show will be tomorrow. Or no, not tomorrow, Monday. And then he's taking a little breather as well. But yeah, no, big stuff. We're gonna, of course, by the way, we're announcing a quick. We're taking a quick little break. Our next show, I believe, for Corner Booth podcast itself after Monday will be March 2nd, and which is scary to think about. And then also we'll continue to do Thursday live streams. Kevin is stepping away eventually, but he's not set a date yet. So anyway, enjoy the Super Bowl. A lot of things changing, a lot of good stuff coming though. Don't worry. A lot of new people rolling through as well. But ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you stopping by. We hope you enjoy the Super Bowl on Sunday. I know
Savor
all of
it.
us
It's our
will.
last football.
Savor
for a
it's our
while.
last. Yeah, I know. And we don't-
USFL football kicks off in April.
It's our last good football for a while.
Okay, there we go.
When's USFL start, Kevin? I'm sorry, JD interrupted you.
Like April.
I would never.
Oh, April, like April. Okay, I'm excited. XFL also next year, I believe.
That's up in the air.
Well, I know the Rock's running it, so it might actually not fail this time. Thanks, COVID. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. We appreciate you stopping by. See you Monday, actually. Peace.